Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be focusing on getting the truck ready for a trip we have planned to Moab later this year. Because of the rocks that are out there and some of the wheeling that we're going to be doing, we wanted to get a little bit more armor on the truck. So we're going to be focusing on getting the RCI rear differential skid plate put on. So let's get to it. Alright, so this is RCI's rear differential skid plate. It's made of 3/16 steel and powder coated from the factory. So first thing we're going to do, go ahead and slide it underneath of our axle and push it up just so that it's touching the bottom of the axle arms and not lifting the truck. So once the rear skid plate is centered on the rear diff, we're going to go ahead and insert the upper clamp brackets over the axle tube. You'll notice in the video I actually have these backwards. They're supposed to be the other way. You'll see that here in the video. We're going to go ahead and put in the hardware, bolts top down, and just lightly put into the bolts so that they're attached on both sides. You're going to want this loose so that you can move and adjust it as you continue the process. So here you can see I got all of the different arms on the skid plate with the bolts attached just loosely enough so that I can move it. We'll crank this down at the end of the process once everything's attached. Next up is the front pinion support assembly. It's easier to kind of assemble this partially on your bench first. Then you're going to go ahead and push this around the pinion, lining up with the way that the rear part of the axle is set up. Hang it over, slide the bolt through. Again, these you want to have a little bit loose because we'll tighten everything down at the end of the process. Make sure that the pinion support is actually on the outside of the skid plate. We're going to wind up pushing the bolts underneath this in a second. Now that everything's loosely attached at this point, we're going to go ahead and make our adjustments. You want that pinion support to be as tight and as far forward as you possibly can, like you see right here. Once you have that in place, go ahead and crank those bolts down as tight as you can get them. Now we're going to go back to the upper clamp brackets that are over the axle tubes. We're going to go ahead and tighten these down. You're going to start in one spot, go to the other one on the other side, and just evenly clamp them down from side to side until they're nice and tight. And then our final step here is to use some cross-check torque sealant. What this does, if you have never used it before, is it puts a little visual representation of where the bolt is and where it's set. So that way when you're on the trails, you can just track and make sure that they didn't come loose. And here's the final install. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully that helps you install your rear skid plate from RCI as well. We got a lot of videos coming up. We have a big trip planned for Moab later this year. So we're going to be doing a lot of videos on how we're going to prep for that and some getting the truck ready. So thanks for watching. Go ahead and click subscribe if you haven't already, and see you guys in the next one. Bye.